In the heart of a big city, among the ancient cobblestone streets and Renaissance buildings, Alesia Rinaldi walked with a determined step. At 37, Alesia was a successful woman. Her long brown hair was gathered in an elegant ponytail, and her tailored suit gave her an air of professionalism and style. As the founder and director of a large and innovative interior design company, Alesia had built her career with determination and hard work. Before continuing, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any of our stories. Despite her success, she still felt a deep connection to her humble origins. Growing up in a small town, she had always had to fight to achieve her goals. These roots had made her a strong woman, but also vulnerable to the judgment of others. Now, the prospect of meeting the family of her boyfriend, Lorenzo Biaggi, made her feel insecure. Lorenzo, a renowned 42-year-old architect, was the man with whom Alesia had shared the last 2 years of her life. Their relationship was solid, based on mutual respect and a deep affinity. Lorenzo came from a wealthy family, with a long tradition in the wine industry, and had never made the social differences between them weigh on him. But Alesia couldn't help but feel nervous about meeting his parents. One day, while she was in her bright office with a splendid panoramic view, Alesia received a phone call from Lorenzo. "My parents are eager to meet you," he said enthusiastically. "I have to leave for a few days for work. When I get back we will organize a meeting with them right away," Lorenzo concluded. Alesia smiled, but immediately afterward she felt a knot of anxiety growing inside her. She decided to pay Lorenzo's parents a surprise visit, but with a particular plan in mind. That evening, Alesia chose simple jeans and a white t-shirt, leaving her usual designer clothes in the wardrobe. She barely put on any makeup and tied her hair in a ponytail. When she looked at herself in the mirror, she almost didn't recognize herself. She seemed to have returned to the girl who, years before, was struggling to build a future for herself. The next day, Alesia left early and headed into the countryside. The journey took just over 2 hours, and as she passed through rolling hills dotted with vineyards and olive groves, she reflected on her decision. She didn't want to be judged by her success, but by the person she truly was, without the glitter of her career. Arriving at her destination, she stopped to admire the beauty of the place. The city, famous for its wine and breathtaking landscapes, seemed to have come from another era. She followed Lorenzo's directions to the Biaggi family villa, an imposing building surrounded by vineyards. With her heart in her throat, she approached the gate and rang the bell. A female voice, polite but distant, answered from the other side. "Who is it?" "Good morning, I'm a friend of Lorenzo's. I came for a surprise visit," she replied, trying to remain calm. After a brief silence, the gate opened and Alesia entered, walking down the tree-lined avenue that led to the villa. Are you enjoying this story? Before you see how it ends, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. At the door she was greeted by an elegant and distinguished woman, with gray hair tied in an impeccable chignon. It was Maria, Lorenzo's mother. "Ah, you're the new housekeeper Lorenzo told us about. Come, I'll show you the house," Maria said, misunderstanding Alesia's presence. Alesia, surprised but also amused, decided not to correct the misunderstanding right away. She followed Maria into the villa, admiring the luxurious furnishings and ancient paintings that adorned the walls. She led her to the kitchen, where a young woman was busy preparing lunch. "Julia, this is the new girl. Show her what to do," Maria said, before leaving the room. Julia, a beautiful girl with an open and friendly face, greeted Alesia with a smile. "I didn't know they had hired someone else," she said as she showed Alesia the kitchen and explained the family's habits. "Yes, it's my first day," Alesia replied, keeping the secret. Over the next few days, Alesia observed the Biaggi family closely. Maria was a woman who, while courteous, maintained an air of superiority and detachment. Giovanni, Lorenzo's father, was a reserved and authoritarian businessman who interacted with the staff only when strictly necessary. Alesia noticed how Giulia and the rest of the staff were treated with formal courtesy, but without real consideration. One morning, while Alesia was cleaning Giovanni's study, he suddenly walked in. "Interested in my book collection?" he asked, noticing her gaze on one of the bookcases. Alesia smiled. "Very much, sir. Books have always been a passion of mine," she replied. Giovanni nodded, seemingly impressed. "It's rare to find someone who still enjoys reading," he said, before leaving the room. Alesia reflected on how much she was learning these days. She understood how important it was to treat others, especially those perceived as subordinate, and how this revealed a person's true character. As time passed, Alesia grew closer to Giulia. The young woman told her about her broken dreams and the difficulties she had faced to support her family. Alesia recognized herself in her, remembering the times when she too had had to make sacrifices to move forward. She decided that, once her identity was revealed, she would do something to help Giulia realize her dreams. One afternoon, while Alesia was serving tea, she overheard Maria talking on the phone with Lorenzo. "This Alesia seems trustworthy, but I wonder what she really wants. I don't trust women who seem too perfect," Maria said, a note of suspicion in her voice. The next day, Lorenzo returned to the villa and, seeing Alesia in simple clothes, looked at her in surprise. "Alesia, what are you doing here? And why are you dressed like that?" he asked her. Alesia smiled and decided it was time to reveal the truth. She told Lorenzo and her parents everything she had done and why. She explained that she had wanted to get to know her family without the filters of her social status, but as an ordinary person. Lorenzo looked at her with admiration, while Marta and Giovanni looked confused and embarrassed. "I don't know how to apologize," Maria said, her voice shaking. "I should never have judged you without knowing who you really are." "There's no need to apologize," Alesia replied sweetly. "I wanted to do this experience to better understand who you are. I don't judge you, but I hope this experience can teach us all something." In the following months, the Biaggi family began to change. Maria began to treat Giulia and the staff with more respect and care, while Giovanni decided to implement new, more ethical policies in his company, inspired by Alesia's example. Giulia, with Alesia's help, enrolled in an interior design course, finally managing to realize her dream. When Alesia and Lorenzo got married, the wedding was a celebration not only of their love, but also of their personal change and growth. Surrounded by friends and family, Alesia and Lorenzo promised each other to face every future challenge together, knowing that respect and understanding are the basis of a happy life. Did you like this story? Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching the video till the end and see you next time.